Yo, what's good everybody? So a few days ago, Embers Games, the creators of Murky Divers, released a demo for their upcoming game, Storebound. This is a survival horror game which will have you fighting for your life to escape a grocery store. They initially announced this project earlier this year whenever they dropped one of their updates for Murky Divers, so this game has been on my radar for a little while now. I spent a little over an hour playing it last night, and today I'm gonna be telling you everything you need to know about Storebound. Let's get it. Now, before you ask, no, this game is not another Lethal Company clone, because we don't need another one of those again, right? Although it feels similar, this game is different because it is not quota-based. Honestly, I'd say it feels more like a combination between Phasmophobia and the other game Dark Hours, if you've ever played that before. See, the whole point of this game is not to collect as much stuff as possible, but to literally make it out of the store alive. The game starts you off in this office area where you have the option to choose between different perks. These perks are things like increased stamina, more carry capacity, and things like that. Select your perks and you'll be ready to start the game. And after you do so, you will be dropped off in this brand new room. If you look around the room, opening drawers and stuff, you can find a whole bunch of useful items. These items are things such as bandages to regain your health, flashlights to recharge your batteries, and tranquilizers to help out with a core mechanic of the game, which we'll talk about later. The game itself is pretty fun. There's a bunch of different enemies that you will encounter, but the main antagonist, the main enemy you gotta keep your eye on is something who I'm gonna call the managers. The managers are these really tall, creepy, demonic entities that will attack you on sight. And trust me, these guys are very aggressive. When sneaking around the store, keeping away from the managers, there's different obstacles that you also need to avoid. Things like spilled glue on the floor, which will slow you down, or broken glass, which will attract any nearby enemies to your location. And if you get caught, death is all but guaranteed, but there are a bunch of different hiding spots that you can use throughout the store. Hiding in these spots will keep you safe from the managers. However, enemies can hear you and they will snatch you out of the vents if they catch you, so shh. The layout of the store itself is pretty labyrinthian. There's multiple levels, rooms, and hidden areas that require you to jump on top of boxes and shelving in order to access them. This makes the map way more dynamic than you might think at first glance, creating an overall more engaging and exciting experience. One of the core mechanics of this game is something called insanity, which you may recognize if you played Phasmophobia before. Just like in Phasmophobia, enemies will become more dangerous the more insane you are. When going insane, the whole map will adopt this super creepy red look, causing you to hallucinate, and also brings out extra enemies, all designed to keep you from escaping the store. But how do you combat the insanity? Well, remember those tranquilizers I mentioned towards the beginning of the video? Using them will reduce your insanity and allow everything to return to normal. However, your insanity does increase the longer you're in the dark, so be careful. Also, something I forgot to mention earlier is related to items. If you ever played Dark Hours, then you might remember how you needed to go and find these things called fuses in order to progress further in the game. The fuses were used to gain electricity and power doors that were closed before, giving you access to new locations. This game does the same thing, so you need to make sure to search every single dresser, drawer, and fridge to find items like bolt cutters and fuses in order to escape the store. In my opinion, I definitely think this demo is worth checking out and seeing if it's something that you would be interested in. The game is really easy to understand, although there is a tutorial in case you need it. I thought the grocery store shopping mall concept was really dope and definitely makes it unique from other games we've talked about on this channel. But before you check the demo out, there are a couple things I need to tell you about first. A common complaint I saw in the reviews for this demo is how aggressive the AI for the managers is, and honestly, I think I agree. I wouldn't necessarily say that aggressiveness is unfair, however, it definitely made it more challenging than I think it's supposed to be. Like, the manager would be on the opposite side of the store, and if you're anywhere in its line of sight, it's gonna book it straight for you. My friend and I weren't able to escape the museum, and that's mainly because we just kept dying, bro. Thankfully, you can revive dead teammates. However, where you die isn't where your body stays. The managers will always carry your body to a different part of the store, which, on top of their already very aggressive disposition, made the game very, very challenging. I also did encounter a bug where after I died the first time, my neck broke, and it altered the camera angle, making it much harder than necessary for me to be able to see. I was still able to see and make my way around the store, and it didn't really affect my overall experience that much, but that is something to keep your eye on. Outside of that though, the demo felt smooth, and it definitely does its job introducing the main concepts of this game to the audience. But once again, this was just a demo, and I've always been impressed with the way Embers Games handled the updates for Murky Divers, and I don't expect that to be any different with Storebound. Make sure you head over to Steam, check out the demo for yourself, and then let me know down in the comments what you think. I'll definitely be talking about this game more as we get more updates, so look forward to that. But otherwise, make sure you like the video if you found it helpful, subscribe to the channel for more content, hype this video up because apparently that's a thing now, and outside of that, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys very much for watching. You be easy, stay positive, and of course, I will catch you guys on the flip.